nice little nap. So, today I wanted to talk about... He's still doing it. I wanted to talk about my thoughts on the whole Xbox Microsoft situation, which kind of leads into my thoughts on Halo, because tomorrow they are supposed to be unveiling a new Halo, which is heavily rumoured to be Halo Combat Evolved Remastered, which I'll get to. But the whole Xbox Microsoft thing, for those of you that aren't in the gaming sphere, the weeds of gaming, Microsoft and Xbox were, how do I describe this? Ever since the launch of the Xbox One in, I think, 2013, maybe 2014, I think it could be 13 though. Ever since the launch of that console, Xbox has been seriously struggling. Now, I've been a huge fan of Xbox since the original Xbox, and the 360 days were just the golden era of gaming. I don't think we will ever see anything like that again. Just amazing games. And another thing that was good back then was games also weren't that big memory-wise. And I know that's a very particular thing to get annoyed about, but I like to have everything installed so that if I want to play a certain game, I can just play it. Whereas nowadays, all of the memory needs to be a certain flavour and a certain speed, and then games are coming out at like 150 gig and sucking up all that juice. And I hate it. I really, really, really hate it. I think it sucks. So Xbox lost their way a little bit, or a lot, and they pivoted after a few years. They put Phil Spencer in charge and started heavily pivoting to the Game Pass subscription model, where you pay Game Pass and you are able to play Xbox Game Studios games day one for a monthly subscription without having to pay the full price of the game, which it was great. It was so good. It did get me a little bit concerned because I do like to replay things. However, I thought I would forever be signed up to Game Pass, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. I would just continue being subscribed through all those years. Then, in 2022, I think the timeline is funny, so around 2019-ish, they bought Bethesda, who are the geniuses behind The Elder Scrolls and Fallout and Starfield. And then I think it was 2022 where they purchased Activision Blizzard King, which was huge. And I remember everybody rejoicing, everybody being super, super happy. Even myself, because there's a lot of untapped gold hidden Transformers games, the Spider-Man games. I think that's really it for me. Spyro and Crash, or just stuff that I know there's licenses, but you would imagine Xbox would want to put all of that on Game Pass, or at least make it all available to modern consoles, because a lot of it is stuck on old hardware. And I think that is the beginning of the end of what we knew as Xbox, because they spent so much money on the Activision deal and it took absolutely forever to go through. It was that point where Big Daddy Microsoft decided to kind of take the wheel away from Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond and say, now we want to make money. And ever since the deal got finalised, Xbox has just been making the most baffling decisions. And the most recent being they put Game Pass up. I think it was £8 for me, but in America it went from like $20 to $30, which is it's a huge increase when you consider absolutely everything is so expensive, super expensive. And it was actually the Game Pass thing that made me go, oh, maybe I don't have Game Pass anymore. And then I realised I've spent like 5 years subscribed to Game Pass, and over that time it was when I have started building my digital library more. So I own games on disc, but I am super lazy and I don't want to get up and change discs, especially because I do remote play quite a lot. And so I realised there is so much stuff that I just don't own anymore, and it's gonna cost me a bomb. So I've slowly but surely been reacquiring certain things as they go on sale, and it is absolutely heartbreaking to see, because Xbox was doing so well. They were on the up. It's stupid because it's a corporation, so you could never trust them, but you felt like they were your pals. Phil Spencer. It is really heartbreaking to see what Xbox has become and continues to sort of decline with like all the layoffs. That is insane amount of layoffs, the amount of people that lost their jobs, that put their trust in Microsoft. And now what? All for the bottom line of some shareholders. It's super disgraceful. Now the other side to it with Halo. They're announcing the next Halo, which I said was rumoured to be a combat evolved Halo combat evolved remake, where it's, I assume, built on the Unreal 5 engine. And I am very torn on this because I thought that Halo Infinite was fantastic. I really loved it. I thought Master Chief looked incredible. He had some amazing dialogue, and they made the best out of the bad situation that was unfortunately the story of Halo 5, which I have come to enjoy now, but it's just, it did leave a sour taste in the mouth. So Halo Infinite, I was saying to my brother when that was coming out, because I was getting a little bit frustrated, and I said, if Microsoft screw this Halo up, I'm gonna have to just jump ship somewhere else and start, move fully over to PlayStation. And I play PlayStation. I love Uncharted. I love God of War. And I was really happy with Halo Infinite. I think it could have been better. The open world was quite desolate, and it would have been really nice to see other areas, which I'm sure there were leaked information about how much they cut from the game, showing off different areas, the snowy areas, desert areas, and I think there was something like scarabs, which are like AT-ATs, AT-ATs from Star Wars. Huge, powerful beasts of machines just patrolling the ring, and I thought, man, we missed out on so much. And even the soundtrack was fantastic. They did so good. It's trying to emulate and trying to stand up to the original Halo soundtracks is such a gargantuan task, and they did fantastic. So I was really pleased with Halo Infinite, but then they kind of abandoned it. The online, it took them a little bit to find their step, and I think it's in a good place now, but the only people that are left playing it are the people that play Halo a ton. So it takes me like 10 games of getting my ass whooped before I can even go, okay, I can start killing people, because I play SWAT, so it's just headshots only, and it is brutal. So you can understand why people jump on and then go, this isn't for me anymore. So I am excited about the prospect of a new Halo, but then I'm also disappointed, because do we really need another Halo 1 remake? The last one, let's say the last one was a remaster, but it's good enough unless they add a substantial amount of things that make it feel modern. If they just remake it and it's the same game, just you can sprint and it looks nicer, there really wasn't much point. And I know they're trying to go back to their roots and find out, this is what Halo means, and it'll launch on PlayStation, which, if I'm completely honest, my main place that I play now is Steam and PlayStation. And I play on the Steam Deck, and I remote play the PlayStation. I remote play the Xbox. And so I am very torn, but I am intrigued about the future of Halo. I am concerned for things further than that, and only from a standpoint of it takes so long to make these games, and it's been 5 years since Halo Infinite already. And I feel like that's been quite a painful journey of people hating Halo Infinite, loving it, hating it, loving it. And I feel like the way that these games take so long to make, we are getting older. I am in my 30s now, and whilst that is relatively young, if they take another 5 years to work on a new Halo, I'm going to be mid-30s, and then, or that's even saying it takes 5 years, it could be even longer. So I'm disappointed in where Xbox is currently. I really hope they can figure something out where I stop seeing them as being more evil. And I feel like at the moment it is nothing but doom and gloom for me personally. Next year they have an amazing lineup if they're able to hit everything that they've promised. They've said that there's a Halo, there's going to be a Gears of War, Fable, which looks wonderful, and the next Forza, which I know you're supposed to say Forza, but I'm not saying that, I'm saying Forza Horizon. So it will be an amazing year, and I hope they can really turn the ship around and have a year of positivity and celebration for Xbox, and not make us all feel really uneasy about, does it have a future, And I just hope they get it right. They were really on the right path with Halo Infinite. I just hope they don't listen too much to the people online that say things, this may be controversial. Halo needs a sprint. The original Halos are fine as they are, but if you're making a modern Halo, you need sprint. Maybe make a multiplayer mode where you can't sprint for the people that like that arena style combat, the slower style. But it needs sprint because no one is going to want to jump into Halo if it feels slow compared to the Call of Duty. Now Call of Duty is a lot faster, but at the bare minimum you need sprint. They got it really bang on with Infinite. I want to keep my fingers crossed that they kill it with the remake and it's a substantial thing, but then when it's a substantial thing it then makes me worry because it's gonna be like 150 gig and it's like, dang man, why do you hate me? Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. How do you all feel? And if you feel any different, let me know. If you're an Xbox player and you feel the same, let me know. Just don't be an arsehole. Okay guys, I hope this has been good. I've used my phone and I've heard kids outside and my wonderful dog has been slapping his lips like crazy. So I hope it hasn't been too distracting. If this has been good enough, let me know, because I think I can make more like this. This has been really nice, to be honest. Alright man, take it easy, take care of yourselves and be good to each other.